What is up, everyone? Today is Tuesday, which means that it's time for another live Q&A. As always, I'm your host, Paul J. Lipsky. Here on this channel, I talk a lot about dropshipping onto different marketplaces like eBay and Facebook Marketplace. We talk about selling on Amazon as well. If that interests you, make sure to check out a bunch of my videos. Then, if you have any questions about dropshipping that you want answered, come to one of these live Q&As. I do them every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and ask your questions, and I will do my best to answer them for you. As usual, there are a ton of free resources in the description of this video. Make sure to check them out. I have my free my dropshipping secrets ebook, which describes how you can get started with eBay dropshipping in there, an ebook that goes over the top suppliers you can use for dropshipping, as well as a guide that has all of the software that I recommend for dropshipping. All those will always be updated. So even if this video is old, that download will be new and relevant. So definitely check it out. All right, we have a bunch of questions in the chat already. So let's not waste any time with chit chat. Let's get right into it. All right. George says, "Hey, Paul, I saw a video about a dropshipper who used tactical arbitrage software for product research. What do you think about it?" Wow, big question there, George. So I haven't seen this video, but I would imagine that seller is selling on Amazon, because tactical arbitrage is really used for helping sellers on Amazon find stuff to sell on Amazon. It's used by a lot of people who do online arbitrage, for instance. Online arbitrage is where you buy items from other websites like Nike.com or eBay.com. They get delivered to your house, and then you send them into Amazon to sell them. I've done this in the past. It's a great business model, and tactical arbitrage is one of the software that you can use to help you pick which products to purchase. I will say tactical arbitrage is a very robust software and quite a difficult one, in my opinion. You're going to see that when you go in there, there's a lot of settings and it can be overwhelming. And I think for most people who are starting out, it's way too much information. And I think there's better and easier software out there to use if you're going to be selling on Amazon. If someone was using this for dropshipping on eBay or Facebook, then I would totally disagree with it unless I'm missing something. But I think if you're selling on those marketplaces, you shouldn't be using tactical arbitrage at all. But it would be helpful if you're selling on Amazon. But like I said, I think there is better software out there that's easier to use. Raza says, "Please tell us about your course, and do we get mentorship and help from you in person, or you've hired some staff?" Well, it's not in person. You can't come to my house, and I'm not going to teach you at my house. But I think I know what you mean there. Just giving you a hard time, Raza. So my course, I have two courses, but primarily the one most people are interested in and are joining is the eBay course that teaches you how to dropship onto eBay. I think I have a link for it down below, but if not, when you enter in your email to get my free PDFs, which are in the description, I'll send you some information about it as well. So what that course does is it's really a full guide on how you can get started with eBay dropshipping and how you can get your store up and running, everything you need to be successful. I used to do one-on-one coaching, which I think is what you're talking about here. And for that, I used to meet with people one-on-one every single week. I did that for several months, probably like close to a year, before realizing that everyone needed help with the same stuff, right? So much of dropshipping is pretty straightforward, right? Inside the course, I show you how to sign up for eBay, how to change your settings so they're optimized for drop shipping, how to set up the software and link it with your eBay account, how to pick the best suppliers. All of that is pretty straightforward, right? It's like a formula. I tell you what to do. It might be hard for you to go out and do that on your own, but I am giving you the blueprint and telling you exactly what to do. And there's no guesswork involved for you. There's no skill involved for you. It's just signing up for the accounts and getting everything set up exactly the way that I show you, step by step, click by click in the video course. There are probably two components of it though that do require you to develop skills. So inside the course, I teach you those things, right? I teach you how to find the products, the product research. That is a skill you have to master. So I spend a lot of time going over how to do it and with lots of examples and showing you what not to do and what to do. That way you are able to practice it and get better at it. And I show you also the other skill you have to master, which is optimization. And again, I show you how to do it, what things to avoid, and give you lots of examples so that you can really, really get good at it. So I know the course has everything that you need to be successful because I've refined it over the years, I've updated it, I've made it better and easier to understand. But if you do continue to need help, you are more than welcome. I am still available to help you. So you'll get access to a private Facebook group. You can ask questions in that group and I will answer those questions. I go in there every day to check for questions and answer them for you. I prefer you do it that way. That way other people can see the same question and answer and get benefits from it. But you're also welcome to email me if you're one of my students and if it's something more private, and I answer students' questions over email all the time. Raza says, which market is more competitive, eBay or Facebook dropshipping? I don't know if one is really more competitive than the other. I guess I would say eBay probably has more sellers, but I think they also have more buyers as well. So we're seeing more sales with eBay at the moment. Can you please tell me how much money it will require for Facebook dropshipping? So luckily with dropshipping, the cost to get started in general is really low because you don't need to buy that inventory up front. You don't need to build a website. You don't have to buy a domain name. You don't have to pay for advertising. You only spend money after someone has already bought something from you on Facebook. So that right there is going to reduce your costs and therefore your risk by quite a bit compared to a lot of other online businesses. Really, all you need money for is to fulfill the orders. So when you have a sale that comes in on Facebook, and it's the same thing for eBay and Amazon, when the sales come in, you're not going to have access to that money right away, all right? And that's because the marketplaces hold that money. They want to make sure you actually get the item to the customer, and then they release the money to you. That way, if there's any sort of problems, they have the money to refund the customer. And they want to make sure you're not going to scam the customer out of the money. So that's why there's a hold. So all you have to do is use a credit card to fulfill your orders. And then when the money is released to you, you can use that money to pay off the card and keep the rest as profit. Now, if you don't have a credit card, you can use a debit card. You just have to have a couple $100s in the bank in order to actually be able to purchase the items and kind of, have that rolling basis kind of going. Hey, what is up, Robert? Thanks for being here, man. Good to see you again. Chaudhry says, hey, Paul, how can I select the best supplier for any product on Amazon or Walmart for eBay dropshipping? So in the description of my video is a guide to the best suppliers you can use for dropshipping. Definitely check that out because I give a lot of details in there about how to pick good suppliers, the difference between wholesale and retail suppliers, and then I actually list for you the top suppliers that I would recommend for beginners. So check that out. That is linked up in the description of all my videos, including this one. And that's probably your best bet to just check out that. Cored says, would you say dropshipping on Facebook Marketplace is still in the early stages or not so much? Really didn't have any pressing cues this week. Well, I appreciate you asking a question anyway, giving me something to talk about. I do think Facebook Marketplace is still in the early stages. Facebook Marketplace has been around for a little while now, but the ability to have a business on it and a dropshipping business has really only been around now for a few years. And when you compare that to Amazon or eBay, Facebook Marketplace is still in its infancy. And I think it's going to continue to grow and grow and grow. Facebook, whether you like it or not, does have a strong foothold. There's a huge user base for it. And as they expand more and more into different services, I think that's only going to grow and the use of it is only going to grow. So I do think it's still in its infancy. Now's an amazing time to get into it as it's early and you can get a foothold in it before it really kind of explodes and takes off. No pressing cues this week, you said. Yeah, we are in the start of Q4 now, so things are heating up for Halloween. Lots of Halloween items are selling right now. We only have a couple of weeks to go until Halloween is actually here. So these items are going to continue to sell for about another week and a half. And then Halloween sales are going to drop off because then it's going to be pretty much too late for people to be ordering Halloween decorations. But yeah, we're in it because right after this, we are hitting the Christmas stuff hard. I mean, we're already at this point listing Christmas items, but I mean, they're really going to start selling start in November. November 1st, people are going to go online and start buying Christmas decorations. So now is the time you want to be listing those products into your store, getting ready for the Christmas shopping season because it is coming. And when it comes, you can make a lot of money drop shipping. Brett Power says, hey, what's up, Paul? Is using vacation mode safe? And if not, what's the best alternative? No, I would not use vacation mode. So vacation mode is a setting on eBay where if you turn it on, what it will do is it will leave a message on all of your listings saying that, hey, this seller is away. It's going to take longer for you to get your item if you order from them. There's several problems with vacation mode. One of them being that customers can still order from you, so it doesn't actually just turn off your sales. And the other problem with it is that the big, real main problem with it is that when you turn on vacation mode, after you turn it off, many sellers say that their stores never return back to normal or take a long time for their sales volume to return back to normal. It's very frustrating. There's some sort of bug with it, is the ongoing theory, but eBay refuses to acknowledge it. And so the general consensus among all eBay sellers, not just drop shippers, all eBay sellers will tell you don't use vacation mode because it will just ruin your momentum. Instead, what a lot of sellers do is if they have to go away, all they do is increase their handling and shipping times. Make sure you increase it enough so that even if someone orders it the day after you leave, you don't even have to have it shipped out until after you come back. So really increase that handling and shipping time. You can still get orders coming in, but that's fine because you can then order them when you get back home and still be able to fulfill them on time. And then obviously when you get back home, change your settings back to what they originally were. Hey, what's up, Mike? Good to see you again. Mike wants to know where I'm seeing the most sales right now, whether it's eBay, Facebook Shops, or Facebook Marketplace. Which is better right now, Shops or Marketplace? So I'm seeing the most sales on eBay at the moment. That's where sales for me tend to be the hottest. But Facebook Marketplace is picking up again. Now, in the past, I was really loving Facebook Shops. I thought there was a lot of strength there, and it's still doing fine. But Facebook Marketplace, for whatever reason, seems to be doing better again. And I think part of that's due to Q4, kind of that sales volume starting to kick in. But in general, eBay is where I'm seeing the most sales and where I think most people are seeing the most sales at the moment. Brett says, if you have QuickBooks automatically keeping track of eBay sales and Amazon orders, is there an effective bookkeeping method and will it be able to reconcile itself? So it cannot reconcile itself. You do have to do a lot manually. Now, I'm not an expert on this. I'm not good at bookkeeping. It was one of the first things that I outsourced to a virtual assistant because I just didn't want to do it. I thought it was too confusing and too many risks of me getting it wrong and then having to overpay on taxes. So I thought it was well worth the cost of hiring a competent virtual assistant to do it. So I'm not really the person to ask, but you can hire virtual assistants on like Upwork or online jobs who are qualified to do it. Boss Up Motivation says, I've been drop shipping for about 2 months now. Is it okay to post a few items a day now, or is that too much? No, you should be in the clear. 2 months now, your store should be primed. It should be good to go. So you can really start ramping up the number of listings that you do every day. And if your sales have been lagging, that's probably because you're not listing enough. So I would list more. Brett, your profit percentage depends on the supplier, whether you're tax exempt with them, which it sounds like you are, and which marketplace you're selling on. If you remember my course, inside of there, I actually give you a breakdown of what markup you should be using. And it also depends on if you're a new dropshipper or already have sales volume. All that matters. So go into the course and check out that lesson. I think it's called How to Never Lose Money on a Sale. So that way you have the exact formula for whatever position you're in, because it does change. If you're not making sales, cyber player, but you're getting views, well, either way, the two things you want to, it always comes down to two things. And that's one, product research, and two, optimization. If you're not making sales, it is one of those two things. So I would brush up on both of them, really go through some videos on how to do product research, some videos on how to do optimization, and really brush up on those skills, because that is always the problem that I see. It's one of those two things. Mohammed says, Walmart canceled my order for return violation. How to deal with that? So this is an increasing problem with Walmart that is unfortunately just kind of like annoying, because if you in that email, there should be a link you can click to appeal that. You want to appeal the decision, and we've been seeing just a really high success rate just by sending in an appeal. If you are tax exempt, send in a copy of the email that approved you for tax exemption, just as more kind of proof. And that we're seeing a really high success rate, people who are appealing it and sending in the email that shows they've been approved for tax exemption. Usually their accounts are reinstated. Frank says, how do you drive traffic to your listings? Again, it comes down to those two things, product research and optimization. Those are the two skills you have to master, and that's what's going to get you traffic and sales. Now, there are some other things you can do on top of that. So like if you're on eBay, you can do promoted listings. Those help out quite a bit. So that's something else you want to look at as well. Bernita says, could you touch on quarter four, such as pricing? Does it remain the same? Yeah, good question, Bernita. So in quarter four, some people like to increase their prices to increase the amount of profit that they make. What my strategy has been for the past several years is not to increase my prices, but I'm going to be selling more. So it's more about volume for me. It's the same profit margin, but we're going to be selling a lot more just naturally because people are going to be buying more during quarter four. So that is what I do for it. I like that system better because with the cheaper prices, people are going to buy more of my product and I'm going to get a lot of volume. Brett says, if my listings are well optimized for eBay and I just copy them and post them to Facebook Marketplace, would they still sell well? So there's a high correlation between the two of those, Brett. So unfortunately, Facebook Marketplace, one of the struggles for us dropshippers and all sellers is that we are not given a lot of information or data on which items sell well on Facebook Marketplace. On eBay, we have access to that information. If you use a software like Zeek Analytics, it is able to actually go through eBay and see what the most popular items are on eBay that are selling. We can't see that on Facebook Marketplace. So we're kind of guessing at what products are doing well or taking an educated guess based on, hey, we know these items are doing well on eBay, and eBay and Facebook Marketplace are similar marketplaces, so it will probably do well on eBay. I'd say it's like a 70% like transfer of relevancy. I'm not sure if I'm explaining that very well, but I think you get what I mean. Like 70% of the products that do well on eBay are doing well in Facebook Marketplace. And again, we also don't have information about what keywords are doing well in Facebook Marketplace. So we're taking another educated guess. If we're seeing it's doing well on eBay, we're going to try the same one on Facebook Marketplace. And it's like a 70% hit rate on that. Brano says, hey, Paul, I'm trying Facebook Marketplace dropshipping. Do you recommend listing products into buy/sell groups? Someone told me not to, but is there a reason why? Yeah, so you can try it. It doesn't hurt. The only thing that can happen is that you might get kicked out of one of those groups. This was a strategy I was using in the beginning and it was working well. But now I think that it's just become way too saturated, and the only people who actually participate in those groups are people who are trying to sell stuff. So I don't think it works as well as it used to, but it doesn't hurt for you to do it. I can't think of a reason why it would hurt. There's a lot of scammers on Facebook Marketplace, says Aaron. Yeah, but the thing is, the way we are selling products on Facebook Marketplace, we are listing products up for sale. And if people want to buy them, they have to pay through Facebook. So that means that the payment is directed and handled by Facebook, and they give us seller protection, and they give the buyers buyer protection as well. So it's a lot safer than meeting up with someone in person, or if they ask you to pay them through PayPal or through Venmo and then never actually ship you the item. It's actually done through Facebook in this case. All right. What is the best API or non-API for eBay? What about flagged? Yeah, we use API for eBay. So what Tony's talking about is when you're using software like AutoDS, the way AutoDS communicates with eBay. So if you don't know, AutoDS is a software that we use to automate our dropshipping stores. So all we have to do is, let's say there's an item on Walmart we want to sell. I just grab the URL for the product on Walmart and I plug that URL into AutoDS. And then AutoDS will list that item into my eBay store. I'll go in and optimize it. You can do that in AutoDS, but it will then list it for you. All the photos, the description, the title, whatever title I give it, it's very fast. Then if the price changes, it will update the price on eBay. If the items goes out of stock or back into stock, it will update that on eBay for you. So there's different ways that AutoDS can communicate all of that to eBay. But the best way, the easiest way, the most streamlined way is using API. Now, in the past, I had recommended, and a lot of people had recommended not to use API because we thought that it would hurt your eBay account. But through a lot of trial and error, we've figured out that that's not true. And so there's no benefit to using a non-API store and a lot of benefits to using an API connection. So I would use the API connection. In general, I've not been selling Amazon items that are under $35. There's a few reasons for that, but primarily the reason I avoid items that are under $35, unless the items get free shipping. There are some items on Amazon that, even though they're under $35, will still get free shipping. Now, I don't use Prime accounts with Amazon because if you're selling with Amazon Prime, your Prime account's going to get shut down. Now, there are ways to still use Amazon Prime to drop ship, but it is tricky. It involves having multiple Amazon Prime accounts, which can get expensive, and it's a lot to juggle, and there's still the risk that all of them will get shut down. But it's all about that kind of juggling act and using just a few of them, and then a few of them for a different order, and then a few of them for a different order. So it's a whole juggling act you got to do. That's why generally I just avoid items that are under $35 and only stick to items. I use a regular Amazon account and stick to items that get free shipping, which are mostly items over $35, but again, some of them that are under $35. Charles says, is it too late to start listing items for Halloween and get sales even if you offer free shipping? No, Charles, it's not. So this is one of the cool things about dropshipping that you're not going to get with any other business model. I'm recording this. We're live today on October 10th. Normally, with most stores, most businesses, it'd be too late for you to start stocking Halloween stuff, right? There's too much risk. You go order a bunch of Halloween stuff for your store. It's going to take a few days to get here. And then by the time it gets here and you get it on the shelf, well, then it's so close to Halloween. A lot of people already bought Halloween stuff. You might get stuck with all of this Halloween inventory that you can't sell because Halloween's over. But with drop shipping, just list it into your store today, right? You can have new Halloween items live in your store today. People are still buying Halloween stuff today. They're going to buy it tomorrow. They're going to buy it for another week and a half or so, and you can continue to sell it. So the only sort of caveat there is that there's an opportunity risk here because you've missed out on 10, maybe 15, maybe even 20 days of Halloween sales already. So that's kind of like an opportunity cost that comes with it, is that because we can pivot so quickly with dropshipping and get these items into our store so quickly, it almost kind of hurts when we realize, oh shoot, I don't have enough Halloween stuff listed. And I could have been selling even more over the past 10 days, but I wasn't. And why I bring that up now is because I'm looking forward as well. And I know that starting in a few weeks, Christmas stuff is going to start selling. And it is really important you get a lot of Christmas stuff into your store as soon as possible so that you can take advantage of the sales that happen at the start of November all the way through to like mid-December, right? It is such a huge opportunity, even bigger than Halloween. So short answer is it's not too late, Charles, but you also want to be thinking ahead so it doesn't happen again. And you want to be thinking about Christmas stuff. I don't know why this is happening, David. You might want to contact eBay support because it sounds like there's some sort of like a bug or something going on in your store. I think I kind of answered that one. But yeah, to give you like a definitive, I would say like the 20th or maybe like, I would say like 1 week before 24th or so, you might want to stop. It's no hard rule because again, it doesn't matter, right? If you list it too late, who cares? You just wasted some time. If you listed it too early, who cares? It's going to sit there and then someone's going to buy it when it is the right time to buy Halloween stuff. David James says, I want to hire a virtual assistant or a VA. Is giving them access to my AutoDS account enough for them, or should I give them access to my eBay account? No, for beginners, and by beginners, I mean like when you're just starting out with a VA, giving them just access to your AutoDS account is going to be a huge help for you. So you don't have to give them access to your eBay account. You can protect that. You have this new hire. You don't know them that well yet. They have to gain, or they have to gain your trust, right? No, you have to gain their trust. They have to prove themselves, is what I'm trying to say. They have to prove themselves. They have to prove that they are trustworthy, and they can do that with access to your AutoDS account. With that, they'll be able to list items. They'll be able to help you order items. They can help you with customer service. So there's a lot they can do with just access to your AutoDS account. In fact, you probably never have to give them access to your eBay account, and it'll still be a huge help for you. Mary says, what do you think about TikTok shops? I don't mess around with that. I found some marketplaces that work for me, eBay, Facebook Marketplace, and Amazon, and I stick to those ones. Those are the ones that I know work. I'm not going to try I can't try everything, and I'm not just going to jump on some bandwagon. I know what works. When to start adding Christmas items? Now. Now is a good time to start. I want items in my store ready to go on November 1st. And I guarantee you there will be Christmas items that are selling before November 1st. So you want to hit the ground running strong. There are early sales you can get, and then they're going to pick up as November goes on. you want to be ready for it. So now is a good time to start listing Christmas items. I'm not sure about drop shipping in Germany, to be sure. To be honest, really mixing up my words today. To be honest, I don't have any experience with that. Let me answer this one first. Do I buy tracking numbers from AutoDS or TrackTaco, or never use AutoDS? So I use AutoDS for a lot, but I don't use them for auto ordering. And one of the reasons that is so that I can use my own accounts that are tax exempt. So if I need tracking numbers, I'm using TrackTaco. However, if you're using AutoDS then to fulfill orders, then use their tracking number system because it's built in. All right, so Mike has a question that says, what level eBay store subscription do you use? Do you cap your listings at a certain point? It seems like past the premium, it actually gets more expensive. Let me share my screen here. This is all the information you need about eBay store subscriptions. And what you can put in here is you can click based on how many listings that you have. So if you're at 500 to 10,000 and like this, it's telling you you can have, why would it tell you that? So this actually isn't that good. But inside my course, I have a breakdown of at what point you should upgrade from a non-store to a basic store, and then from a non-store to a basic store, and then from basic store to a premium store. At what point it financially makes sense to do that? I like having a premium store. It gives you plenty to work with there, so I don't think it makes sense for you to really move past that. You're saying it's more expensive after 10,000. It actually gets more expensive. I'm not sure. I'd have to do the math on that. But that's a lot of listings. That's you'd have to have over 10,000 listings. That's a lot. So I think you're good with this. Shrink. All right. I don't give legal advice, so I can't answer a couple of questions in here. So hopefully your supplier will give you a tracking number, but if they don't, you can use TrackTaco. Is it necessary for me to have feedback when I'm starting out? No, but it certainly helps. Definitely not necessary, but it certainly helps. So if you want feedback, you can buy stuff on eBay. By buying stuff on eBay, you're going to get feedback from the seller. And also, when you sell stuff, ask for feedback, and buyers will give it to you. Answered that one. Don't use it, so I can use my own accounts. ODS doesn't work together. Yes, it does. It works with Home Depot. I'm not sure what you mean it doesn't work together. Do you use fulfill by merchant or do you fulfill by Amazon FBA since you buy items wholesale to make more profit? Well, if I'm doing online arbitrage, I do FBA. If I'm doing drop shipping, I do FBM. Because that's the only choice. There's no choice to make there. Well, if you're doing drop shipping, you have to do fulfilled by merchant. You can't do FBA. Yeah, Mike, they do tend to side with the buyer, but it's not a huge problem that happens often. No, I don't sell products on my own website. I want to sell on a marketplace because marketplaces have customers. There's people shopping there, people who are ready to buy stuff. So I don't need to drive traffic or do my own marketing because it's done for me. Scammers do is they try to go outside of Facebook or eBay. Yeah. Never sell products outside the marketplace. The marketplace will protect you. What is the best VPS for eBay stealth accounts? So stealth accounts are really hard to do. They, for the most part, don't work anymore because you need a social security number. But if you want a recommendation for a VPS, a good one to use is IP Burger. No, that's actually that's not a VPS. That's a VPN. Yeah, but that's what I would recommend is IP Burger. Do I do FBA, Paul? I do a little bit of FBA. Yeah, it's online arbitrage. No, I've never really sold in Shopify. Lee says, will your Amazon account get shut down even if you aren't using Prime? If the fulfillment by auto... yeah, we don't use Prime accounts and our Amazon accounts are not shut down. I've seen that people put promotions on eBay, but their prices are high. So should we raise the price and do the promotion or discount without promotion and keep the price low? If I'm doing a promotion, I will raise my prices to offset it. And that works for me. What are the best retail suppliers for fast shipping? In the description of this video is a link to the free Suppliers ebook. Check that out. It answers all these questions about suppliers. Yes, do not use Walmart Plus. Walmart will shut down your Plus account if you dropship using Walmart Plus, but you're more than fine using just regular Walmart. Since Facebook doesn't charge for listings, why would you pull any items from your store? Well, because AutoDS will charge you for more listings. The more listings you have, the more expensive your plan has to be. I really can't, like I said, stealth accounts, they're just like, they're really hard, man. They're really hard to do right. I just don't think they work anymore. All right, Lil SA says, I've had an eBay store. I sold for over 2 years. I took a break. I returned last month, but I'm not getting any views. So you probably don't have enough items yet, or the items you have are 8 months old. You need new, fresh items in there. So if you take a huge break like that, when you're starting again, it's kind of like you're starting from the beginning, except you have the advantage of having a primed account and an account that has probably a better selling limit. You got to be adding more products. I'm willing to bet you probably don't have enough products in there. Mike says, show your appreciation and click the thumbs up button. Yeah, please. Appreciate that. Appreciate the reminder, Mike. No, I would not sell items that are that expensive. In the beginning, as a new seller, you want to be concentrating on cheaper items because those ones are going to sell faster. People are more likely to buy from you, even though you don't have a lot of feedback or any feedback. And in general, those items just sell quicker, which is what you need as a new seller in order to get your store going and kind of get the ball rolling. Lorenzo says, you got to get the Oculus Quest 3. I know you say you wouldn't buy the Oculus 3. The VR culture needs you, plus Oculus 3 is really good. No, I have the second one. Yeah, I use it a few times a week, but I'm just not. Yeah, I am tempted to get it. The 3 does look cool. Is it out yet already? The Oculus 3? I'm just wondering like how much better it is. I have played around. So one of the cool things I played around with was like having spatial computers, kind of like what the Apple Vision Pro is going to be, where you can put it on and actually like see 3 monitors in front of you and be in like this virtual work environment with like lots of screens. But then I'm sitting here with this big thing on my face. It's getting hot, so it wasn't the most practical. Yeah, I've answered this. You stick to items that get free shipping. We'll see. We'll see. No, not dangerous. Lauren says, for hiring a VA, do you give them your card? I think you mean your credit card, or do you give them a special card? So again, I give them access to AutoDS so they can see the orders. And then they have access to like my Walmart account and my Amazon account, which has my credit cards stored in there already. So I don't need to, for the most part, I don't need to give them my credit card information. Sometimes I'll have to re-verify the card, in which case they are given that number, but they're not given enough information. They're like on Amazon, you have to verify the whole card number, but they don't have the 3-digit code. They don't have the expiration date. On Walmart, all you have to verify is the 3-digit code. So they don't have, they don't have enough information to be able to steal my credit card information is what I'm trying to say. Why would you use AutoDS? Because you need to keep track of the prices. You have to keep track of the stock level. So if an item you list from Walmart and now it's out of stock, you got to change it on Facebook to be out of stock. Otherwise, you're going to sell an item that you can't ship to the customer. Well, no, because a permanent suspension is permanent, but a lot of suspensions on eBay are not permanent. So very often you can get reinstated. Yeah, you got to really push Home Depot on this. They will send you a return label. It says it on their website. You got to push them hard on it. No, I don't do any print on demand. I think it's a really cool idea. It's very similar to drop shipping, but I've never done it. You got a free game. If I could buy the Oculus 3 today. I don't know if I need any more games. There's only one game I play on there. It's called Population 1. It's a really fun game. And I should probably branch out. I've always wanted to do that boxing game. I hear is a lot of fun. Brano says, if you're doing product research, how many products do you recommend listing from like a new trending niche? I would just do a few, like 2 or 3. I see what you're asking. Maybe like 2 or 3. And then if they sell, yeah, then list more of them. Yes, yeah. AutoDS will give you the full address if you're drop shipping from eBay. It just got really dark in here. Yeah. With retail sites, items go in and out of stock very frequently, yeah. So you got to be aware of that. You got to be on top of that. With the retail suppliers, it happens, especially during the holidays. So you want to be on top of it. All right. Well, I've gotten through all of the questions. That is it for this week. Remember, in the description are a ton of free resources for you. Make sure to check them out. Then if you have any questions that weren't answered, make sure to come to my next live Q&A. I do them every single Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Everyone, thanks so much for hanging out. Lorenzo, maybe I'll see you in the metaverse. All right, everyone. See you next week. Bye for now.